Okay, guys, I would like to begin this session with a word of caution. If you are worried about your science and mathematics foundations shaking, you better not listen to this, because at the end of this session it would leave you utterly and completely confused about what you have learned as basic maths. So, with this caution note, I would like to start this session. Now let's imagine you have X representing apples and Y representing mangoes. Obviously, you cannot add X with Y. X plus Y would give you only X plus Y. There is no summation possible. Similarly, there is no deduction possible. X minus Y is not possible, because X represents mangoes, Y represents apples. So X minus Y gives you X minus Y itself. Now look at division. X divided by Y is not possible, because X represents mangoes, Y represents apples. So you cannot divide. It's all fine. Perfect. But then, look at the situation where we are doing a multiplication. X into Y. It should give you XY. And if X represents mangoes and Y represents apple, you wonder what is XY. Or in other words, the solution X into Y, XY is not practical in this case. Please note, maths was actually developed for practical daily use. If you cannot count, you cannot use currency. If you cannot count, you cannot trade. If you cannot calculate, you cannot find out the area of a plot. So mathematics is very much for practical use. Now, some of the mathematicians that you may see might argue that X is a set and Y is a subset. Or in other words, X represents the number of classes and Y represents the number of students in each class. So let's say we have two classes with 100 students each. So X into Y should give you 200. But then representing 200 as XY would rather be stupid, because what is XY? There is no XY. There is only Y1, or the total number of students. So X into Y, X number of classes, Y number of students. Two classes, 100 students each, will give you 200. That 200 is not XY. That 200 is only a count of students, or it's, in other words, it's the next stage of Y. So it could be represented as Y1, not as XY. So please note, addition is okay, practical. Subtraction is okay, it's practical. Division is okay, it's practical. You can put it to good use in day-to-day life. But when it comes to multiplication, it's okay with numbers. But when you represent them algebraically, things become complicated. So if X is mango, Y is apple, you cannot get XY, number one. Number two, if X is a set, Y is a subset, for example, X is number of classes, Y number of students in each class, you can of course get XY, but then it cannot be represented as XY. It should be represented as Y1, because it is not class into students. The solution is not class into students. Solution is number of students in all the classes put together. So it should only be Y1. So please note, there is something seriously wrong with multiplication. So I am fully confused about what this means. I hope you are not equally confused. And let's all hope together that there will be some solution for this mathematical jinx. Thank you very much.